Transferring a call on your Mitel 6900 series telephone is quite easy. You'll notice when you're on a phone call with someone, no matter whether you made the call or you received the call, a transfer key appears on the bottom left-hand corner of the soft keys. You'll see the soft keys give you all of the power and control over transferring a call. Now, there are two ways to transfer a call. The mechanics are the same, but it's just the process. First, we press the transfer key, then we dial the extension we want to transfer the caller to, and then we hang up at some point. And this is where the difference comes in. If you press the transfer key and dial the extension number you want to transfer the caller to, and you remain on the line, it gives you the opportunity to privately announce the transfer. However, if you press the transfer key and dial the extension and simply hang up, that becomes what we refer to as a blind transfer. And then, of course, they have no idea who they're answering or why the call was transferred to them. But the mechanics are the same. Let me demonstrate. First, we'll press the transfer key. When we press the transfer key, it puts Art, in this case, into a held condition. Now we're going to dial the extension for Mike Evans, and Mike Evans is ringing, and Mike Evans answered the call. And now you'll note that I'm talking to Mike. He's in the large letters in the top part of the display, while Art is in a held condition on the bottom part of the display. And you see several keys across the bottom that give us capabilities to manage this call. But to complete the call, as I said, it's a three-step process. We pressed the transfer key, we dialed Mike, and now we can announce to Mike that we're giving him Art, and we can either press the transfer key or we can hang up to complete the transfer. There are many times, however, when you simply can't complete the transfer. Perhaps in this case, Mike couldn't take the call, or for one reason or another, he was busy or you got his voicemail, and you may have to go back to the caller to advise them that you can't complete the transfer. Let me demonstrate that functionality. Press the transfer key, and I called Mike, and Mike answered the phone. And I explained to Mike that I have Art, but Mike says he's unable to talk to Art at the present time and wants to have him leave him a voicemail. So you'll notice the key in the bottom right-hand corner of the display that says Back to Held, and by pressing the Back to Held key, it returns me to Art, and I can advise Art of the situation. Now, as I indicated, those extra keys that are presented on the soft keys at the bottom of the display add some power and control over processing call transfers. Let me demonstrate once again. So you notice in this particular condition, I have two extra keys at the bottom, one called Join Calls and one that says Trade Calls. You'll notice that if I press the Trade Calls key, it actually flips the parties from top to bottom, and now I'm talking with Art, and Mike Evans is in a held condition. I can trade calls back and forth by simply pressing the Trade Calls keys, and it allows me to flip back and forth. However, if I decide to join them together, I can simply press the Join Calls key, and it now creates a conference call so that we're all on the phone together. As you can see in this condition, I have additional soft keys that are presented. As an example, I have a split key that allows me to break these parties back apart. I have the ability to add another user into this conference call if I want to. And of course, I have the key that says Leave the Call, which allows me to simply hang up and let the two parties continue to carry on the conversation. The Add User key is also used to create conference calls, as we did just a moment ago. If I knew that I was speaking with Art and I needed to add someone else on the line, I could simply press the Add User key and call the other party. And once they've answered, I can simply say, "Hey Mike, I've got Art on the line and I'm going to create a conference call." So I press the Join Calls key, and again, we're in the conference call together. Throughout these training lessons, we've talked about the personal keys. And as you can see, my top right personal key is labeled for Mike. If I were on a conversation with Art in this particular case, and I wanted to transfer Art to Mike, as we know, I could press the transfer key and dial Mike's extension. However, if I have the personal key, it becomes a one-button operation. So all I have to do is press the Mike key in this particular case, and it's the same as pressing the transfer key and dialing Mike's extension. And of course, now he can answer, and I have all the same call control keys. Frequently, we find it's necessary to transfer a call into someone else's voicemail box. In order to do that, I simply press the voicemail key That's the key that's located on the bottom third key up with the little record indicator. And you'll notice that when you press the voicemail key, it simply asks you to enter the extension of the person it's for, or if you have a personal key program, like in the case of Mike, I can simply press that key. So in this situation, I'm going to place Art into Mike's voicemail box by pressing the voicemail key, and then dialing his extension.
Your call. Please leave me a message and I'll call you back.
You may start your message.
And that's how the call ends up in Mike's voicemail. So in summary, the phone presents all of your options when handling calls along the bottom area of the soft keys. These soft keys give you the ability to transfer, to join calls, to add other users, and of course one of the most important keys is the bottom right soft key that says back to held. No matter where you are in the transferring process, you can simply press the back to held key to return to the call.